comfortable now. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sigourney Rosario, where I encourage individuals to boss up in their business, boss up in their self-love, and you already know we've got to boss up in our faith. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Instead of doing like notes and all of that stuff, I just thought I would come to you candid, very, straight, honest, raw, and just talk to you about my struggles with fear, where I'm at, and hopefully it will encourage you. Hopefully you will be able to see yourself in my story. I got me a little bit of tea to go along with it. This is just some green tea. And I also have this cute mug, y'all, that I picked up. I don't know if it's picking up. It says Black, Brilliant, and Billionaire in the Making. Don't we love that? So listen to this video while you are getting ready for work. It's gonna be a little bit of a lengthy one, or you can listen to it while you're doing your self-care. However, let's just go ahead and hop into it. All right, so I wanted to talk about my journey with fear. And I guess for me, I pride myself on being strong and independent and very courageous. And very bold, but I'm also very fearful. There's a lot of things that cause me to shrink back. And while I was reflecting on 2021, I do every single year, I like to set aside some time and just to reflect. Before I hop into the new year, I just like to sit down and reflect. And while I was reflecting on 2021, the thing that really came to mind is I think I was very fearful. And it's crazy because you might be looking at me saying, girl, how are you fearful? You're killing it. You're crushing it. You're doing this. You're doing that. And granted, I am. And I'm very happy and very proud of myself. But I also know that it could have been more. It could have been more. It could have been more. And the thing that was stopping me a lot of times was fear. When it comes down to fear, what really and truly causes my fear to kind of flare up a lot of the times is me having to put myself out there. Now, I am very, a bubbly person. I'm outgoing. If you come up to me and talk to me, I will talk to you for days. But when it comes down to business stuff, I don't know what it is about the area of business. I start to become extremely shy, very reserved. I don't want to come across as braggadocious. I don't want to come across as, someone who is flexing on other people or trying to, outdo other people. So I always have shrunken back when it came down to business stuff. And this is something that I was just dealing with, like at the end of this year, honestly. And I was just really questioning, like, girl, why are you so hesitant to tell people what you do, what you bring to the table? Why are you so hesitant to not necessarily brag on what you do, but to tell people what you do? Why is that? Why do you consider that to be bragging? And after I started unpacking it, and after I started really looking at the core of it, it's because I'm very fearful of what people will say, and I'm very fearful of what they may think. And so in my mind, I don't want to ever come across as bragging, because I really and truly, I'm the most humble person ever. You can ask anybody who really know me in real life. I am extremely humble, and I pride myself in being humble. But in being humble, I'm starting to really and truly kind of put a cap on what God can do in my life, because I'm not telling people what I do. And the thing that really touched my heart and really touched my spirit is when I went back home. When I went back home and I was around family, it just seems like they were more proud of what I was doing than I was. Like, especially my grandma. My grandma is my heart, my soul. I love my grandma. And every single time we went out, whether it be to a mall, whether it be to get a pedicure, whether it be out to eat, my grandma was telling people about me. She was like, oh, my granddaughter, my baby right here. Oh, she done wrote a book. This is her second book. And this is her book title. Oh, matter of fact, you got time? Let me show you pictures. You got pictures? Let me show you pictures. I got pictures. Hold on one second. And she was just showing people my book cover. And it's like, when I came back home and, I was spending time with my family, and I actually ended up coming back home, I started to think about, like, why don't I have that same energy for myself? Why do I not have that same, like, promote myself, let people know what I do? Why do I shrink back? And why do I have to have my grandma promoting me for me? And I've been really and truly digging deep into that and really making sure that I address this before the new year. And one thing that I started to think about is I gotta really stop putting a cap on God in my life. I gotta stop allowing myself to be so fearful of what people will think and what people will say. And I've got to push past the limits. I really and truly feel like my first book could have done better. Granted, it did good. I would never ever say it did not do good, because the book is still selling to this day. But I feel like Puzzle Pieces of Purpose, How to Find Your Purpose in Life, could have done better if I had really promoted myself on social media. And even now, I feel like, and I was talking to one of my mentees about that, and he was telling me, he was actually mentoring me while I was mentoring him, and I was basically explaining to him, like, that's one area I struggle with, because I always feel like if I promote too much on YouTube or if I promote too much on Instagram, it's coming across as me bragging. And just like thinking deep into it and really examining my life and listening to people around me, like my super supportive friend group and my family, they're just like, no, like, if that people are hating or people are upset because you're bragging about your products, then that's their issue. That has nothing to do with you, and that's nothing for you to take on. And one of my friends, she kind of checked me while I was at work, because we were talking about it at work, and she was just like, you know what, you have got to stop limiting yourself. You have got to really and truly put yourself out there. And you may think that people are jealous, or people, may think you're bragging, but a lot of people are clapping for you. You may think, all these people, hating on you, or you may think they may be, thinking that you're bragging, but a lot of people really and truly are clapping for you. You have to change your mindset on it. And when she told me that, I was like, dang, you're right. You're right. I've come up with this narrative, and I've been believing this narrative for so long, that to believe that there's genuinely honest, happy people out there, it just never crossed my mind. And so just thinking about that, I was like, you know what, you're right. I've got to put myself out there. And it reminded me of when I went to a networking event. Even like networking events, I shrink back. And people are always asking me for like a business card. And even when I went back home, people were asking me for business cards, and I didn't bring any. And it just reminded me, like I'm bossing up in every area of my life, but one area that I personally need to boss up more in is tackling fear, not allowing it to stop me, not allowing it to cause me to shrink back, and for me to not show the glory of God, not show the favor over my life, because I work hard for what I do. Every book, every course, every YouTube video, every Instagram post, every encouraging word on Letters for Life, every letter that I do for Letters for Life Foundation, every stationery thing that I'm thinking about releasing, everything that I do it like 110%. And to think that it's myself getting in the way, it's just such a horrible place to be in. And I'm learning how to really tackle the fear, address it, and do it scared. You may feel like you're bothering people, but you're not. You may feel like you're overselling, but you're not. It's going to be difficult to put yourself out there. But I told myself in 2022, especially when it comes down to Queendom, I'm going to go hard on myself. Like, I don't care if you get tired. You're going to see another post until the book is released. And after the book is released, you may see 2 or 3 posts after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm carrying that vibe of, you know what? People who don't support, or people who are not happy for you, they just gonna have to see me, and they just gonna have to feel away, unsubscribe, unfollow, whatever the case may be. But I'm not gonna stop dimming my light to make others feel better about themselves. When you live for God and you really serve Him behind the scenes and on camera, when you treat people with respect and to the best of your ability, by no means am I saying I'm perfect, but I really and truly, I try my best to live out what I preach, what I talk about. And when you do that, I feel like God honors that, and there's just certain blessings that come in your life, and you can't hide it. I'm at this point in my life to where I'm like, I can't hide the blessing of God over my life. I can't do that. And if I hide the blessings that God has given me, how am I going to witness to other people? How am I going to let people know about God if I'm shrinking back? Like, I don't know. In 2022, I just am really dedicated to being that chick, being confident. And I am confident, but really and truly putting myself out there. pushing myself out there, being uncomfortable, and learning how to just embrace the favor, embrace the love of God. And hopefully my story, my testimony will encourage another woman or another man to break past their fear. We have to put ourselves out there. How is anybody gonna know that you do anything if you don't brag or tell people about it? And it's not necessarily that you're coming across as being, you know, braggadocious or you're bragging on yourself. It's just you letting people know what you do. You worked hard for it, might as well let somebody know. And so that's just what I'm challenging myself to do in the new year. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go so hard for Queendom. And if the book touches one woman, I've done enough. If one woman knows that she's a boss, that she is loved, that she can love herself more, and the importance of self-care, if I do that for one woman, I've done enough, baby. I've done enough. So hopefully this video was encouraging for you. I didn't want it to be too long, but I just wanted one person, hopefully, that watches this video, maybe it'll resonate with you like it resonated with me. But we've got to push past our fears. We got to allow God to use us in a mighty way. And it could be anything small. It could be something like God will use you on your job. God will use you in your family. God will use you to bless a homeless person. But let God use you. Don't shrink back in fear. Don't worry about what this person has to say, that person has to say. Focus on what God is telling you to do. And at the end of the day, do it scared. Get your degree scared. Start the new job, start the new business, start the new group home. Do whatever you got to do, but do it scared. You may feel scared in your spirit, but at the end of the day, you can push past it and you can still get it done. And so as I challenge myself to boss up in my faith, in my self-love, and in my business, hopefully this was an encourager for you to do the same. So if this video resonated with you, comment down below which part of the video you really feel connected to. Are you scared to start something? Are you fearful? What is holding you back? Let's have a conversation so we can overcome this fear. If you need encouragement, or you know somebody else who may need encouragement, please write into my foundation, Letters for Life, where I encourage individuals by writing handwritten letters of encouragement. As always, I love you, but most importantly though, God loves you. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.